Without you.
Yeah, I know. Claire, Elizabeth, Kai's and Marcy, you and me. You want to come to us? So cute. Jasper's a ranger and Son's Claire's in the school. She's taking the boys. And Elizabeth is
So yeah, all the prayer flags that you see, and the t-shirts you see we've made, some things come from elsewhere that we order from different people. Lama Foundation was the home of the very famous Ram Dass book, Be Here Now. And the residents of Lama Foundation were the artists for the book Be Here Now. And you see that some of the flags that we have are from that book, like the butterfly and the heart cave are from the book Be Here Now. And then other flags are with some kind of spiritual or religious representative. We, again, try to make prayer flags that represent each religious tradition. And then our 50th anniversary t-shirts, the design came from Ginny Kostecki Shaw, a local, and she wanted to do something that would be a symbol of the dome.
Mm-hmm. So I know the answer to this, but for our viewers and readers, what's a llama bean?
Really, it's someone who has fallen in love with Llama Foundation, who loves it. And many of those beans have some kind of official relationship, whether they're a trustee or a continuing member or a resident or a steward, but they don't necessarily have to. They could just be someone who cares about Llama Foundation and stays in touch, maybe even if it's just through their hearts or prayers. And they consider this one of their homes.
So it was in the mid-'70s, and Llama was, we had a volleyball court on the north side of the dome, and we played against New Buffalo. And we had to come up with a name for our teams. So we came up with the Llama Beans.
Because you're a vegetarian community that eats a lot of beans.
I think they did too.
What are you doing?
We're helping to make lunch.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're retreatants here, so we're guests for a retreat for a week.
Mm-hmm.
So we're helping the people who actually live here.
Where are you from?
I'm from Charlottesville, Virginia.
I'm from Richmond, Virginia.
Ah.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Hello.
How's it going?
Great.
What are you making? Oh, you're cutting up
Garlic.
what?
Garlic.
Garlic.
Yeah.
Yeah, fragrant.
Lots of garlic, yeah.
Where are you from?
Los Angeles.
Oh. How long have you been out here?
I got here Saturday, and I'm a summer spirit and probably staying till mid-July.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
What you got in there?
Cooking a tomato curry for lunch.
So, Mirabai, you say that Llama has no leader.
Right, and I think that that's really one of the reasons that Llama has survived and thrived all of these years. So there's a position called the Watch, which is what Kestrel is right now, and the Watch is, it goes on a lunar cycle, so from new moon to full moon, 2 weeks roughly, and then full moon back to new moon. A different person is kind of the spiritual leader of the community during that time. They set the tone for what, and Megan might be able to speak better to this because I haven't lived here in 40 years, but they lead the morning meditations, they lead practices, they introduce certain sacred scriptures that they'd like the community to focus on, whatever it might be. So everyone, whether they're 25 years old and have never led anything in their lives, or a seasoned spiritual practitioner who's lived in monasteries, everyone has a chance to hold the soul of the community in that way for a couple of weeks. Then the coordinator, which is what Megan is a voted position. It's a year-by-year position, so they're either re-voted in or a new coordinator steps up. And the coordinator is very much an administrative position. They wear many hats and do many things. It's a kind of more of a I wouldn't say business, because there's also a treasurer who's literally looking at the finances of the community, but Megan can speak better to what the coordinator does. But I think that watch position is maybe one of the key ingredients to the llama soup that makes it delicious and sustaining.
This whole building is the community center, and the foundation was laid right before the fire. The plans were created right before the fire, and they think that because of the road that had to be built right in front of it, it's the reason why the dome survived the fire, and it created a fire break. And so this community center is not just, it has a very special beginning. It's considered maybe part of the saving grace of Llama Foundation itself, because when people came up after the fire and saw that the dome was still standing, they said, oh, maybe we can keep going. And so the community center is where the kitchen is, which is certainly one of the hearts of Llama Foundation. And then this portal is where we eat each of our meals in the summertime. And then inside we have different meeting rooms and hangout rooms, as well as an entry room.
So can you tell me a little bit about what you're planning for this year's 50th anniversary celebration?
Yeah, wow, it's amazing. For the 50th reunion, we have all kinds of special events. Our normal events like Zikr and Shabbat that people are always welcome to join us for on Thursday and Friday evenings will be extremely well attended. I think our dome will be totally full. And we'll have a special leader on Friday for the Shabbat named Shefa Gold, who's a rabbi here in this area of New Mexico in the Jemez. And each day, though, we'll have various projects, but also ceremony and gatherings of people who love Llama Foundation, who are coming from all over the world to join together to celebrate Llama's history and its impact on the world.
Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about that impact in the world. What does that mean to you personally?
What it means to me personally. Well, our hope is that we can just, I guess Llama's first mission statement was to help awaken consciousness. And for ourselves individually, but also the whole collectively. And I think a lot of people associated with Llama Foundation just think of the word remember, that we want to return to remembering what our values are and what our connections are, our interdependencies with one another, with Mother Earth, with Spirit, with our higher selves. And so most of our practices, our ceremonies, our lives here are interthreaded with the intention to help us remember, to connect with our higher self, our larger purpose here, with Spirit, with Mother Earth.
How did you first hear about Llama?
I had always wanted to live in community, and especially in a spiritual community that would help me remember and wake up and support my practice of meditation. And so I had my eyes out and my ears open. And when I was living in Santa Fe, and at some point I was looking for spiritual communities when I was there in Santa Fe, and discovered this one on the website. And then I happened to move to this area to be a teacher at Roots and Wings for just one semester. And in that time, I started visiting up here for Shabbats and fell in love. Well, many people say this is the mother of retreat centers, that in that it was open to non-Christian religions, spiritual traditions, and practices in a way that no other really had been yet. And so it created a space, a container for all these other teachers and practices and traditions that had never really had that kind of space before. And from there, once people began to meet their teachers and meet their inspirations here at Llama Foundation, the demand grew so much that almost every one of those traditions could then create their own separate retreat center and space. But it all began here. And without Llama Foundation, meeting that demand in the beginning and creating the inspiration for that, probably not, those other ones would not have been able to begin.